Hello everybody, CommandoSanta here, and welcome to a new series of mine. Today we're going to be playing Cities Skylines. This is one of my favorite games. I've been playing this game for, since it came out pretty much. But I've never gotten into a series where I've been very detail oriented. It's mostly just been vanilla gameplay with a few assets here and there, but I've kind of wanted to embark on the journey of doing a not extremely detailed, but something a little bit more realistic, lots of mods and everything. I've always wanted to do this, but the mod part of the game has been extremely daunting, and just trying to get everything working together is just, it takes a bit of work, and I've spent the better part of like the last probably month just trying to get this to get into a state where I'm very happy with it, pretty much. So I am pretty much at a point now where I can start going, and the fruits of the labor is this episode right here. So I guess starting off, let's talk about the map and the theme and such. So this is a map that I found on the workshop. It's actually called Midpoint Bay. I'll link that in the description. I put a little bit of I've done a little bit of edits to it because I wanted a different aesthetic. I was looking for something a little bit more mountainous, more in the style of like the Appalachian Mountains, kind of down eastern part of the United States, more specifically New York State, Pennsylvania type area. Something a little bit more mountainous, but I also wanted something kind of in the aesthetic that's like on a lake. So more in the lines of like the United States Great Lakes, and then again, more specifically New York State, Pennsylvania, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I intended to actually make my own map, and I spent a good amount of time working on one of my own just to try and do it, but I'm not very good at doing my own map in City Skylines. I had something that I was okay with, and then I went to test it in game, and it was a bit the scale was a bit off. I was just extremely unhappy with it, and I needed to put a lot more hours in it to get it to work, and I just kind of wanted to play the game. So I ended up finding something on the workshop that kind of fit the aesthetic more that I was looking for. This Midpoint Bay map kind of checked most of the boxes, minus the mountains, but making mountains was pretty straightforward. As you can see now, I'm just been working on something a little bit, I guess, mountainous. I also filled in a little bit more of the map just because I wanted just a few more building areas, extended some of the rivers, the streams, the babbling brooks, something just a little bit, just to fit the aesthetic a little bit more. But yeah, I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. And yeah, so the project itself that I'm going to be working on, I'm calling it Project Aurora. I'm basing it more of the, not necessarily the backcountry, but more of the village and the villages and towns and that kind of stuff outside of a major-ish city. So I plan to have a city, but I didn't want to just go headfirst into a sprawling metropolis. You know, I wanted to focus more on like backcountry, a bit more of like the industry out there, kind of off maybe a state or interstate highway, that kind of stuff. Kind of looking along the lines of that. My main plan for this project is I want to start from the outskirts of a smaller city and work my way in. So I'll show you in the live part of the video, but I kind of have a area which I planned on starting at. We're going to be doing kind of a little bit of towns here and there. We're going to connect them with the interstate highway, and then we're going to have them work and create the products that we need to kind of maintain a smaller city kind of on the coastline of the lake here, which is unnamed at this point. So I'm kind of doing this I'm kind of figuring this out as we go. I'm no professional City Skylines player at all, so I'm gonna be learning as we go. So this might start out a little bit rough, but I hope to kind of come back to things and add a bit more detail. But yeah, so I'm gonna let this time-lapse play, and I'm gonna come on back when we get to the live portion, and we'll talk a little bit more about my plans, my ideas, that kind of stuff. So. Hey everybody, and welcome to the live portion of the gameplay today. So this is going to be Project Aurora. This is the map that we pretty much finalized with. I didn't change too much of the layout of Midpoint Bay, but like I said, I just kind of added just some mountain ranges in the back here as we work our way closer to the what I'm going to call the lake. It kind of flattens out a little bit, and I think it looks really nice. So we got a lot of area to build in, but like I said in the time lapse, I'm not really planning on doing an extremely large metropolis sprawling city where like bazillions of people live. I plan on having just kind of a smaller, more modest city, and I think it's going to be situated kind of in this peninsula over here, because that would be pretty much the ideal area for a city in this sort of area. But yeah, this is the interstate highway. It's coming from somewhere, going somewhere else, and just so happens to pass by the city. So probably going to work it in probably around this area. We'll work this highway heading towards the city when we get to the city, of course. But my current plans initially are working our way from the outside in, almost. I kind of want to start off with this area right here. I think this is going to be a great spot for a small kind of town on the outskirts of the city. Maybe it could be a forestry-based town or suburb area. Definitely some outskirt residentials. But I think I'm going to be working with all the services out here. At least some of the services. Definitely want to get some water treatment. And then, because this would be definitely an area where they would be pumping water before it hits the lake. I mean, this stream right here is just kind of ripe for the taking, I would say. But yeah, we'll do the water pumping stations, definitely water treatment, definitely get some electric substations here. But right away, we're going to be focusing on services to support this town that we're going to be building here. I plan to have the way I plan to build in this series is going to be, I want to have everything work the way the game wants it to work. So I'm going to be following the demands of residential, commercial, industrial, and whatever services they need: education, healthcare, police, fire, that kind of thing. I want everything to work correctly. I don't want to kind of fake it but make it look nice. I want to make it functional and also make it look a little nice. I'm not the best. I'm not the best decorator. I tend to spend a little bit too much time up close, and I'm gonna work my way to kind of zoom out a little bit to make sure everything looks good at a decent distance. I don't plan on being extremely up close like here, but we'll make it work. I'll be learning while we play. Definitely be growing while we play. Get through this series. So definitely give me some tips and tricks if you guys have them as you see during episodes, because that's going to be extremely helpful for me. I haven't been doing this level of a project in pretty much ever. This is my first kind of time delving into a project of this scale. But yeah, ultimately this is just going to be where we start. In the next episode, we'll definitely kind of work our way in this, definitely get some houses down, get some people moved in, get some services for them, a place to work, and then we'll start future planning a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode and want to see more, please let me know in the comments. And definitely subscribe if you want. Hit that like button and ring the bell, whatever you do on YouTube nowadays. And yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.